Hey, what's up guys? Today we are making easy stuffed poblano peppers. Poblano peppers are actually one of the most perfect peppers for stuffing. They're just the right size, and they're also like mild in heat so that you can serve them to your friends and family, and they're not gonna get blasted out unless you make the stuffing nice and hot. Focusing on doing this very easy today. There's no battering, no frying. We're just making these boat style, and we're stuffing the poblanos with a Southwest style delicious stuffing that I think you will love. So let me show you how to make them. All right guys, let's make some stuffed poblano peppers. First thing we gotta do is get some poblano peppers ready. You gotta have poblanos for stuffed poblanos, some beautiful poblanos. The number of poblanos that you're gonna need really is gonna depend on the size of the peppers. With poblanos, they can vary quite a bit in size. I've had some big honking poblano peppers that are just, massive. But these are kind of more average sized. And you're really gonna need anywhere from like 6 to 10. So anyway, you'll need to adjust your recipe a little bit depending on the size of these guys. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna roast these peppers, and there are different ways to roast poblano peppers and chili peppers in general, and I got a ton of information on the website on that, but we're making it easy today, and we're going to do a baking method. So the first thing you want to do is get a baking sheet set up here, and we're just going to slice these guys down the middle lengthwise. You want to slice them like right down here, because we're going to make these boat style instead of having to slit and stuff. So just do a real simple slice through like so. And you can remove the stems if you want to, or just leave them on. Sometimes I will leave them on for like a visual appeal. And then there's not much decor with poblano peppers, as you can see. But I'm just gonna go ahead and remove these little bit of seeds and the whitish innards here, like so. Nice and simple. And we'll set it onto a baking sheet. Skin side's up, because you wanna roast the skins, obvi. All right guys, got my last pepper cored out here. Seeds are flying everywhere, making a mess. Shocking, I'm making a mess in the kitchen. Seriously, this is how I get seeds all over the house. They're everywhere. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and bake these. We're gonna bake them at 425 degrees Fahrenheit, or that's roughly 220 degrees Celsius. And we'll bake for about 15 minutes or so, really until these skins start to puff up and char. But I'll be right back and we will continue. All right guys, I got my peppers, my poblanos softened up nicely here. As you can see, they're not completely roasted. You can roast them completely if you want to. They get very soft that way. Since we're making them boat style, you don't have to do it. But after 15 minutes, you'll notice some of the skins have started to puff up and char a little bit. Not char so much, but more puff up. You can remove that if you want to. It removes pretty easily. And you can cool it a bit if you want to, or even cover it with a paper towel to let it cool. And it would steam and loosen some of the skins. Sorry, if I could get my towel right. Like so, and just kind of, or use plastic. However, I'm just gonna pull this off a little bit. Any excess kind of puffy skin, if needed. And then we'll set the peppers upright, get them ready for stuffing, and then let's go ahead and make our stuffing. All right, I got my peppers situated for stuffing, and now we're gonna go ahead and make the stuffing. All right, for the stuffing, I've got my cooking station all set up here. And get yourself a pan heated up to medium heat and add a bit of oil. A little vegetable oil is fine, or I've got some chili oil I just made. And I have a medium-sized onion chopped. And a good-sized jalapeno pepper picked out of my garden. The peppers are starting to explode, I love it. And you can skip the peppers if you want to, the jalapeno. If you want to have a little bit milder stuffed poblano peppers. However, make it hotter if you want to. Serrano, habanero, yeah. Ghost pepper, yeah. Throw a Reaper in there and see what happens, yeah. All right, so I'm gonna cook this down for about 5 minutes to soften it all up. Next is garlic. I've got, I believe, 4 cloves of garlic that are chopped here. And you only need to cook the garlic for 30 seconds, 30 seconds to a minute or so until the, gorgeous garlic blooms in the room. Oh yeah. All right, next I'm gonna add some ground beef. I have a half a pound of ground beef, 8 ounces, into the pan, and I just go ahead and break it up. And you can use other meats for this. This is a very versatile recipe. I love it with ground beef. But I'll make it oftentimes with turkey, ground turkey for a lighter meal, and ground chicken's good. Chorizo is actually fantastic in this, or a mix of ground beef and chorizo. So you only need a few minutes for this to cook down. All right, next we're gonna add some seasonings. Gotta season this up. So here I have a tablespoon of chili powder, and this is an American chili powder blend that I like. It's a New Mexican blend. And a tablespoon of oregano. And this is Mexican oregano. You can use Italian oregano. And a half teaspoon of cumin, some freshly ground cumin, and salt and pepper to taste. And I'm gonna go ahead and stir this in here, and just kind of cook it for 15 to 30 seconds to kind of bloom the spices a little bit. Now we got all kinds of other goodness. So here I have a can of black beans, and you can rehydrate your own beans if you want to, but a can makes it easy. Drained. This goes along with our Southwest style flavors. And a can of fire roasted tomatoes. I love fire roasted. And you can use fresh tomatoes if you want as well. Be sure to adjust your cooking time as needed. Give it a stir. And a cup of corn. Frozen corn is great, but you can use canned if you want to. And I have a cup of cooked rice, cooked white rice. And of course you can use brown rice if you want to. Always customizable. So just get this all stirred together and incorporated, and then we're gonna let it simmer for about 5 minutes, really just to let the flavors develop a little bit. And this is going to be some really delicious stuffing, my friends. All right, guys, I've had this simmering for a little bit. Gonna go ahead and remove it from heat, and I'm gonna stir in about a half cup of shredded cheese. And you're really open to the kind of shredded cheese that you wanna use. Use like a good melty cheese, like a pepper jack, Monterey Jack, cheddar, or just a good cheese blend. Gonna mix it all in here till it's nicely incorporated. Make it cheesy. And of course you can use a little bit more cheese if you want to. I don't wanna be the guy who tells you like you can't use more cheese. I say more cheese. All right, let's get stuffing some poblanos. All right, stuffing the peppers. Got my poblanos all set up here on the baking sheet. Just go ahead and scoop the mixture, the stuffing mixture, onto the poblanos. Boat style peppers here. And if it spills out, then you're cooking like Mike. Messy. All right, got my last pepper here. Doing this the easy way, guys. All right, if you have extra stuffing, you can definitely save it. It's actually delicious. And you can just make more peppers or cook it into soups or stews. Very delicious. All right, last step for stuffing is extra cheese. So just go ahead and sprinkle a little bit of your melty cheese, your chosen melty cheese, over the top of each of your stuffed poblano peppers. And I can tell you already that I'm going to need more cheese. All right, the last of my peppers here, last of my cheese. Now we're gonna go ahead and bake. Really, you just wanna bake for about 10 minutes or so until the cheese gets melty, everything's nice and warmed up again. And but you really can bake a little bit longer if you need to. So, all right, be right back. A really quick tip, guys, you can make stuffed peppers ahead of time. It's actually very easy. Just go ahead and stuff them, then you can refrigerate covered and leave them in there for a day or two pretty easily. And when you're ready to enjoy them, just take them out, get the oven ready, sprinkle with cheese, and bake them until they're nicely cooked through. You can also freeze them easily for several months in a freezer container, and then you can thaw them and then top with cheese, bake, and boom, you're good to go. All right, here we go, guys. Boom, baby. Stuffed poblano peppers. Hey, it's really hard to go wrong with delicious stuffed poblanos. Super easy to make, isn't it? I mean, I love that. Easy weeknight dinner, outstanding, Southwest style flavors. It's really hard to go wrong with it. But now, best part of the day. Let's give it a taste. Stuffed peppers. Dude, stuffed peppers are just so fantastic. I love the roasted, slightly roasted poblano flavor. It is so delicious. You're gonna love this Southwest style stuffing. Absolutely awesome. That's it, my friends. I hope you like my stuffed poblano peppers recipe. Definitely want to hear what you think of the recipe in the comments below. And if you're looking for more awesome recipes, you know where they are. Boom and boom right here. Time to get cooking, guys. So, all right, I hope to see you in my kitchen next time. Can't wait. Mike from Chili Pepper Madness. Bye.